Hello, it's really nice to meet you all here. Thank you very much for coming. And I have the first question to Mr. Clark.
We should use mics. We should use mics.
Just again?
Yeah, okay.
No.
Oh yeah, I need to also. Oh, okay.
Well, I want the answer again. Yeah.
Okay.
I will be surprised.
Okay. Okay, I'm fine. It's good? It's good? Fantastic. Hello, good day, good evening. I have the first question to Mr. Clark. The direction and the next steps, what could the Ebel Manor to do?
I think there are many steps just to do, but I think one of the first is just to look for for the plans, just to research, better research for all this in archives, whether there are more plans, more information, and then perhaps take the plans and put it up to the modern situation and just look what really is still there and where is this, where is that, and where is this. This is for the very first step before anything is going on.
Exactly. And of course, I have also correspondence with the owner of this park. The owner have the plans for the next time. And okay, it's not so easy to stop. I think it's one of important things is not auch the meaning of the meaning of the public, of this society, of neighbors, of the. It's because of course this Ebel Manor Park is in the middle from the historic green zone with the historic cultural place, different in the 200 years, and of course the big big buildings, with new region to sleeping for people. It has a new architecture, and the problematic is how I say in the first time is for us that we go away for the city as soon as possible. I think because of course the last and the second years, so how could we make this the Ebel Manor Park to make in historic way will be some Friedens ein Friedensprojekt. Yeah, peace project. Yes.
I think there's two problems or two things. One is just to ask the municipality, how will this park, what do you think, how will this park look in 30 or 40 years? What is your idea of the park? Not only what they just do now, they want to do, this path is now this and this path is this. What is the idea of the whole park?
Yes.
And we call it in Germany Parkpflegewerk, so it's just for park managing work for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Absolutely. With different steps, what you can do and what is nothing, where are the no-goes. I think this is the one thing, and the other thing is just to find in the neighborhoods, the stakeholders, who is important in the neighborhood, who can say what it is, and then try to get them into the project and do something together with the neighbors, little steps, just to make visible for everyone, this is historic. This is not only green. It's green is wonderful, but this is a historic park, and all the trees and all the things, they have a meaning. Just little hills.
Exactly. Oh, fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. That's absolutely the point, because the park, from the historic way, the point for all people, the central point is not really there, and this is absolutely the mostly number one question for us to impossible to make that this is point one or point second. Point one is the natural, but importantness is for the for the next generation, because in Riga, in the situation, when in Latvia I see so wonderful, wonderful places in manors and gardens, then in Riga it's not. And parks is, I think, I mean that parks is very, very, very important and very, very important feeling for the person. Because it's really some from antique feelings, some from history, some from the nature. It's very some mix from the many harmonical feelings. Was also the basics for the culture from Europe can give for the people, especially in this area, because yes, we also in our neighbors. Is some neighbors who's 100 years living there, okay, and some neighbors who's living maybe 20 years when the Soviet people make the high buildings and changing all. It's very interesting. I meet yesterday some taxi driver. I saw some Russian guy, and also interesting situation what I see in Riga in the with communication, that maybe the culture, the European culture, the really culture could be also there's some problematic to lose of the basics from culture, to respect of the fundamental things where the people coming, because yeah, so be very, really, I agree, and to Mr. Clark, that the understanding for cultural respect is this number one to going out. So, that is also the reason to find the basics, the cultural place to again to have. It is not for us, also for the next generations. So, to understand the basics. Yes.
Yes. Please, can I something to you? You must have an idea for the whole area, and for example, you must have an idea. What cultural activities do you want to do there with the population, with human, with the youth for the first, and with the other population? For example, you can do their concerts, you can do their theater, so you can do their for children. It's a lot of things you can do. And I don't know what is for Riga the best. I don't know so much about the town, but I think it is really important to connect with cultural activities for youth people.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
It's all.
I understand. That's absolutely. Thank you very much, Marlene. It's absolutely, and. It's actually absolutely surprising when you see the city Riga to show someone, and when the city really not see that I think see that the qualities of what may be of culture, and then absolutely, of course, I have the question of the culture of this region, how wide and is going and. But had also the Mrs. Geigela, Mrs. Liga Geigela, auch say, one finally will be the point when the bureaucratic people somewhat see which direction is or not, or okay, because I think city Riga without some historic places. Also, some human being without historic is not really all at all. Yeah, it's only one part, and I think every people have the right to become the all, and so.
Can I also say something about what we saw in the afternoon and what we experienced today? I think you can't see the green area, the Ebelshofer Park, alone from its surroundings. They have changed completely since it was created, to perhaps 200 years ago, 150 years ago. It was at the countryside, I suppose. Cars were not available. We had horses, and well, quite archaic surroundings, I think, and now it's completely different. I think the historic layer is important, but you should also realize that it's used on a completely different way as in the past, and it's good to make the past visible, but also to think how to use it today. And I think what we saw today is just a public area, grass, playground for children, and a few roads running through it. Most of them elephant roads, were not created on a designer's table, but just by the people themselves. I think that it's important to bring the area to a different level, to a better level. I think artworks in the park is something. I think the water in the park has disappeared. We saw the alnos trees meandering through the park, and there must have been water. I think that's clear. They grow mainly on the edge of the water. Those hills are there without a function nowadays, so it really needs really needs a lot of work and investment to bring it to a higher level. And you should not forget the surroundings as well. So we saw the graveyards, the enormous amount of traffic. I think you should deal with that, try to hide it, and also to realize that it will be there. And try to connect the other green areas with the park. It doesn't stop with the park alone.
Yeah, I understand. Did you mean that it's not important to make the historic buildings again, or is possible? I mean, is playing for Mr. Lappin's show, this is 3 or 4 historic buildings actually could be again make a siege and make looking, and make again historical points in the garden. It will be positive, or
my point is you should use the historic elements that are, even if they are hidden, investigate what's still hidden underground, perhaps walls or something else. Perhaps also unpleasant surprises as pollution and so. That can also be possible. If people used to put sand in a kennel or something, they often throw a lot of waste, and well, you have to investigate what perhaps you have an unpleasant surprise in the park.
Yeah.
But well, first to investigate what's there, and qualities and the unpleasant surprises. Look at the trees. How old are the trees? What's the quality of the trees? What should we plant? What we saw was plants on the wrong places. Pine trees next to a wet place, and on well, you can see there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah. My idea is also to make the old that's like when the old cars from the old park from 1887 in the exactly 2022 also for the new big new region, also with canals or with places with water, to the society understand that this in this place some 200 years ago was water, and of course the water is also can be also ecologically for the nature, and also very practical and funny for the people to be. Also some kind of, I mean, not only in park, but exactly in this 80s area. Can maybe of course the buildings who's really some typical East projects, typical 80 years in the East countries building is also making nicer mit another make better, so the facade and so, and also make the waterways a little bit, that the people understand, oh yes, the Ebelshofer territorium, the historical, also have, or here it was water.
If you see the Central Park in Riga, how beautiful that is, with the running water through it.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps that's too luxurious for this place, but you can see what it does, and how it attracts people, it attracts birds, and it makes it a very lively place. And I think there are possibilities here as well, but yeah, it will need a big investment as well, and a lot of study.
Maybe if I can also add something to this discussion. So I'm architect, as you all know, and every project starts with function and with a client, you know. And in this case, a park also, let's say, if you assume park as a project, there's some clients. The client is not any one of us. It's a society which is around the park, and it's Ēbelmuižas society, which is like hopefully represents at least the meaning of part of the public which is around. But it's definitely very important to understand what the people around the park, what they're thinking. So what Mr. Clark was talking about in involvement of publics. And so I think that should be the very first step. So we have got some historic information. We all here agree that it's of some definite value. There are some values inside the park, and what we must do if we want to proceed is to disseminate this information, this understanding of value to the public. And well, one thing what we perhaps could do already, we could make this conference not here in music school, but we could make it in the park. Let's say build a tent. And people who, let's say, in the middle of a children's playground, for example, and just talk there and make the people already somehow involved into this process which we are somehow starting here. And if it was not done up to the day, that would be the next step, and play music in the park and just do things which involve people, which make people understand the things happening. And then the buildings may come and roads and water. It's like the next level, next step to my mind. But I think it would be just make things turn around.
Perhaps it's a possibility just to get a deal with the municipality to say, do nothing for the next 5 years, so you can't do anything wrong, and then we together start to plan. We try everything, but don't do something now which is then just new paths, new ways, or something else. This could be then would never be put away. So just wait. We just make a deal. We don't do anything, because in the moment it works. The things, there are children playing areas and everything else. So it's not that everyone wants something inside. And as a garden, or just from the preservation thing, I would be very careful with always rebuilding things which haven't been there for a long time, if they don't have a function. This is the problem. Just for example, this round temple, there might be just the foundation, and then if you just make a round bench around and just mark that this was the temple, you put photos on it, and then the parents can sit on the bench, see the children play, and then learn something with their back. Just like this, and to get the information that this is historical, has to do something with fun, with action, and not only with pictures, just by intellectual things. Just for example, take the whole neighborship and put some poles into the places where the fruit trees used to be, and put the names on these poles and just do it together with the neighborhood and say this is this. And if you really want to have fruit trees, we work together with the institution. They will grow, and we just visit our trees every year, once a year, and after 5 years we plant it. So such like things, or just mark the water with blue ribbons or something like this, just with a fun on the weekend with a picnic. And this cultural things are important, but I just always just in mind that they want to build a stage somewhere, something like this. So it doesn't matter what it is, this has to be informal. You can do many sports things with informal, playing volleyball, playing football, but nothing. We have it in the Georgian garden. They just put them to pullovers, left and right, and then they play football. This are the girls, and then so they play, and they don't need anything else. So don't fix something, because all these fashions, all these sport fashions, they come and go. Then they want to do this, and there's always some of these. They want just the roller skate things. They want this, they want this, they want this, and then you start to build it, and after 2 years, the fashion is gone. So, say you can do everything as long as you don't destroy the garden, and just with music and with concerts. Of course, you can do it, and it's very important. But you don't have to have just the stage, or you just bring your blankets, sit down, make a picnic, and we just play whatever we do, what fits to the garden, and perhaps even to the century or to the time when the garden was created, especially with music or with others. So don't do too much.
You are absolutely right, because the concept is when you have, so I understand, if you have lost the culture, okay, you have lost. Or that is that. And it's definitely some political reason there, because the could be also behind. This is, it's much cultural ways, some things was lost going in city Riga. And our society maybe is also here today from many people, also not for many, for some people here could be also her another thinking that the people need the culture, behind the culture, they need the historical culture. I can imagine that Germany is too much, but here is many to lost.
I think very important is the thing really with the fruit trees, I think.
Yeah. To plant a heritage orchard, it takes a lot of work, but it's very easy. But we should also think, I agree that we should talk, yesterday should talk with today, and today should talk with tomorrow. Because honestly, I am just imagining how it will be if there will be in this one of corner parks a heritage orchard, and there are those active youth and families, and I believe there are many segments of citizens. It's not always with interest in harmony, maybe, and we should respect it. We should develop this dialogue and find somehow to be all together, but also to take care of everyone's needs. And maybe this dialogue between heritage and nowadays needs is the best solution. There are a lot of mixture of different plants right now. And I already communicated that I remember 20 years ago, it was like a very wild park. Nobody took care about it. And also this historical manor house was in very bad condition. And then municipality came and started to cut grass and also put some new trees, and everyone was, oh, something happened. We have a playground for our children. We can go there for walks with dogs or something. And it was like nice signal. And now we are recognizing, no, but maybe it's not okay because it's too, I would say, maybe rude way to do it. We should be little bit more gentle about this heritage. But maybe this is a good idea to do it slowly, to start with events, with dialogues, events for families, events for kids, because they are people who are there every day. This is their land actually nowadays. Also, and step by step, it will be starting. And I believe the info boards and environment, some pictures or something really works, as you mentioned. Then we will, because today was very rich full day for me, a lot of ideas. Everyone, I believe, from us found out a lot of new information. But those people who are in this sandbox right now and who will go with their dog, they don't know this information. And we should somehow give them, so they also could make some dreams, some memories, some fairy tales about this manor house. And I believe that also actually new owners of manor house also are quite key segment and key factor, because they of course will have this manor house, this family house, and then there's historical buildings or orchard who will take care of them. It also is very important. It's not easy to develop something, but the hardest task is who will take care, what will happen, so to keep it alive in everyday life.
Yes, I think absolutely keep it alive, and that is the question to take in the population, population in different directions. In the historic part, from which I come on my neighbors, and also in the new part, of course, definitely. And I come from Mr. Lapinson's. I could begin with some in the January this year with some, but it's go a little bit on others. Of course, going under some supermarket, but again, I make some very light green balloons or somewhat else, and hello, I'm making fantastic historic garden. What you mean? Exactly. The ways is not so maybe different. The ways is sometimes our question: what wish the city? And the life could be much easier to be when city. When I come back to the question, the culture fundaments in the cultural level, in the area from City Riga. I come back because I every time look in the fantastic song festival every 4 years. I think, oh, fantastic! About what is without singing in Riga, and that is that. And so that is the next questions maybe for the next conference. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It would be very wonderful if in next conference also participants from Riga municipality will be also in this panel, and we can discuss with them. It's also, I believe, very important. Maybe they will be in opposition, but still we can talk with them.
Fantastic words. Thank you very much.
And I'd like to thank Normans very much for all this efforts, for the work he has done, and just to get people from nearly all over Europe, of 2 countries, and together. And thank you very much. And so this is just some greetings from the Herrenhausen Gardens.
Oh,
and next time we have some sweets from Ebenholz.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you for your things. Oh. We enjoy. I think for all us, we enjoy just coming here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's the beginning. Thank you very much. Gott weiter. Marlene, Arthus, Inese, Ronald, and Mr. Willem. Thank you very much. And all what you today is here, and for the technical personnel, I will do helps in the kitchen. And we waiting now for the concert from the Mrs. Nora Lusse, unser fantastic pianist in Latvia. Maybe she's not here, but we're waiting of she. Thank you very much. Good day. Thank you.